Hi guys, welcome back to part 9. In this part, we'll be working with attendance. In previous part, we work with teachers, students, and classes part. So in this part 9, we'll be working with attendance. So uh, let's go to the code, applications, view, controllers, open the models. The models handles with the database where we will be working with the CRUD operation. In this part here, it handles in controller, it handles the logics, and in view part it uh, only works with the HTML formats. And okay, so let's open the attendance part, and we'll be displaying this two part in one page by handling this URL, get URL. So it's the same like in student. You can see that these are displayed based on this URL pass. So it will be the same as this take attendance. So I'll do a simple thing. I'll just copy from the student and paste it here, and we need to change first of all add as this, and close this PHP. After that, the same, we'll add this request. This will be called in the JavaScript. Let's change this one too, and we'll need the breadcrumb. We'll not need the last one. We'll change this to ATD, this as add, yes, and this as report. So let's save this, and let's change this to the base URL, or should be this. I'll change this in every section. So attendance, change this to okay, attendance report, and here we'll add as take attendance. Okay, this URL not work because the dash was spelling is mistake. So for future we don't make any mistakes, so let's change this, and I think in student, yeah, so it worked perfect. Okay, so we'll need the panel to display the box here. So we'll use the Bootstrap, and it should be here panel. Let's copy this one and paste it over here, and as you know, okay, let's copy this here and here. Let's indent that. Okay, we don't need this, and we don't need this either. I think we'll just copy this and paste it here. Okay, let's check. Okay, so for attendance, it'll display the attendance, take attendance, and for attendance report, it'll display the attendance report. So based on the one model, the panel will work the two sections, take attendance and and attendance report. So okay, so let's comment this, and we'll add the form for this. Oh, we need to close this one. I think I'll comment all this. Okay, let's we'll need the form as form horizontal. Post ideas get attendance form, categories class form, group for type, class call sm2, control panel, select type, call sm2, select class form, control, type, id as a type, and for this I will like select student for one. So we should be able to take the attendance of teacher and student. Okay, I think I did it in the head part. This should not be on the head part. I'm sorry. Let's okay, so perfect. So after the user selects the type for like student, then it should display the class, section, and date. If he selects the teacher, then it should display on the date. So for that, we'll be working on controller to fetch that data. So first of all, we need to add the external JavaScript file to use AJAX. So yeah, it will be quick and easy. So it's base URL custom JS and attendance.js. I think that file is not created, so let's create that file. If okay, go to custom JS and attendance.js. So we'll copy from the student.js. You know, if you remember, we made this base URL, and let's copy this and this. This request function is get it from header to get the base URL of the site. So so that function will return this URL. So okay, so we'll check if it's take a report or attendance report. So I'm sorry, take a attendance or attendance report. So let's check that by it should be, I think, I report. So let's check that. Yes, it's add attendance, it's report. So okay, so we'll need let's add the first teacher, I'm sorry, student, and then teacher. So while after selecting the student, it should display the class, section, and date. So for that, we write a JavaScript. So select on the attendance type, right? So let's select the element, let's close this one and open the attendance type id on change function. So we'll get the id first of all. Let's check what are the id. Okay, we get 1 for student and 2 for teacher. Perfect. So through that id we'll be checking we need to display that. After selecting the type, we need to display that the form. So for that, here we'll keep an div to store that fetches or element into inside the test. So let's go back to JavaScript and just select that element and keep a load this URL attendance type as a fetch attendance type and give that id, and this is a callback function. If it's fetch alert. Okay, if you try to select now, I think we won't get anything. We'll get an error because there's no JavaScript because this function is not created. So we need to go back to this attendance at controller and create that function. For now, let's copy from student, copy that all, close this part, and here first we need to change this class, this model to okay attendance. We need to create this class too. And we'll need this class section, and after that we'll need the teacher model. Okay, so let's create that function named as fetch let's give that id, type id, which should be known. If id, if we have that id, then only this will fetch that data. Let's give it as a 1 as a student, 2 as a teacher. So first of all we need to fetch data, class data, so it's model classes. We need to check that function, go to model, and it should be fetch classes data. So this function returns all the classes data from database. If class id is not defined, if class id is defined, then it will return all, it will return only one particular class. For example, if we provide id as 1, then it will return class 1 information only. If we did not provide any class id, then it will return all the classes information from that class table. So this is the logic for this one. So let's close this one. There's a class data is this, so it will return all the classes information. Let's give the form. So this should not be like this. So I think I'll copy this form here. We'll need 3 of them, the class, section, and the date. So first here we'll set the name as a class. Let's give this as class name id. We don't need this, and here okay, so form, let's get for each class data okay, form equals to option value and option class name. Here we'll add as class ID. Okay, for section will leave as empty because we need to select the class first, so give here as a section name and here as a date. Let's change this to input. Okay, type as a text. Okay. Okay, so I think I added here. If the ID equals to 1, then we'll return. Then we'll work with this student. If it's class type equals to 2, then it's teacher part. We work with that later. So let's try to add this, and we'll also add the button. SM10 is okay. Let's indent them. Offset 2 and change this to button element. Type as submit and class as button primary and submit. So, and after that we'll echo the form. Okay, so if there's no ID matching with this, then we'll return an empty form. So I think it worked now. So if we select student, okay, fetch attendance type, this means okay, we need to create this class. The attendance spelling is wrong. Okay, it's created. We'll do that by student. Let's copy all of this and close class and change the name to student 2 attendance. Okay, now it's working. So okay. So after that, the data are fetched. Let's add a date picker on that. It's always a date as a calendars picker and for and date format as okay. Okay. Okay, now for this one, okay, so it should be exactly, if I remember, it should be class name on change. Okay, we'll use the class ID and section name load base URL attendance fetch class section. Here we add a class ID. It's the same function. Okay, it's just let's go to this one, and attendance in controller. Let's open this. Okay, let's copy this one here, and it's if we have a class ID, then we'll get the class information. So we'll get the section information by class ID. Then we'll check if we have a class section data. Then we'll loop the for each loop to store the data, and then return that option element variable. Okay, so let's check there. Select one. Yeah, it's working. So if we have two, yeah, we have three classes. If we select three, okay, we have only one section. Okay, let's change the select type to section. Okay, section. It's okay. So now let's add for the teacher. The same, but we don't need the class and section. So it's just let's copy for now. Copy this. Oh, I'm sorry. From here, form, and we'll move the section and the class. Okay, so let's select for the teacher. Okay, undefined type. Oh, it should be ID, sorry. Okay. Let's okay, let's select for this. If you select this and did, and if you submit, then it should display all the students information in a table form, and we should have an action to update the status of the student attendance. Okay, so after we return this, we have to write a small AJAX to return the student's information. So okay, so we'll use this submit function, return false, and so if we have ID as 1, then it's for student, else if we have ID for 2, then this is for teachers. So we'll do a small violation for class, section, and date. So name equals to value for section name to section name, and date. So we write if class name equals to an empty, then we'll display an error. Find the disclosure form group. First, let's remove if we have any success or has error. After that, we'll add says that our class field is required, else we'll remove that. Also remove the text string. Same with the section name, should be text, and same with the date field. So let's copy this section name here, here, and here, and also for date. Okay, let's change this to section and this field to date. Okay, these fields are required. Okay, we should add a class, and if it's false, then we'll remove the as success and add error. If it's not empty and if it has a value, then we'll remove the add has error and add a class of success. Okay, so it should be like that. Okay, same with that too. Remove the has class. Okay, let's refresh this. Submit this. Okay, remove class as has error. Okay, if it's empty, remove class has success, has error. Okay, I don't see. It should be dot here. Okay, let's do it. Okay, so let's select the date. Let's submit. Okay. Okay, so we need to the validation is done. So let's add here, if we have a value of class name, section name, and date, then we'll fetch the student information. So we'll use like attendance result. Okay, if we have all this data, I think I will remove all that error message. Form group remove class error, remove class that, and if we have data, we'll type like attendance get attendance form. After that, we'll add the class name and section name, and then did. As well as we'll add the type ID, and we'll use, if all the data fetch, we'll use here submit the attendance form, which will work later. For this, first let's create this div on attendance.php right below after the form. Okay, div id attendance result. So let's create this function, get attendance form, let's change this to table because it will be in a table format. So let's create there. Okay, create. Let's go to controller. Then after that, attendance. Let's create this table. It should be table. Let's add first of all. Let's add class ID, and I think section name, date, and ID. Section ID, date, and type ID. So first of all, we'll check if it's for student or for teacher. Okay, so let's get the student data. Okay, I don't remember the function name, so it's a model student. It should be fetch student by class and section. So this function returns the students all students information based on class ID and section ID. This is the what function we exactly needed. So here we'll pass the class ID and section ID. So this will return all the students data based on the class ID and section IDs. Okay, for here we'll get a class information, and after that section information. So it should be here class data this model classes as I think class data passes class ID, and here again it should be section data model section fetch section by class section, if I remember. But yes, this is the function we need. Okay, it should be a section ID. Okay, we'll create a div variable, and this div will store the table informations of the students. And okay, if you remember this well, bootstrap UI, and let's add here as attendance type for student. After that we'll add a class. Okay, class and section. Okay, let's add here as a class name. This should be easy. Class data. Here we'll write the class name. Let's copy this and change this to as section data and section name. Let's give a space here, and let's echo out that deep. Okay, let's check it. Okay, we have an error. Missing this argument. Oh, I forgot. Here it should be plus sign. Okay, now it should work. Okay, we get that. Class 1, section 1. Let's enter it for today. Okay, we didn't load the model. Oh, for that I think I did it, but small student. Okay, we need to load the student too, so let's add here okay this load model model, loading the attendance model. So I think I'll submit from here. Okay, so we have the attendance type as a student of class 1 and section A. Okay, so now we'll display all the student information and also the in input field, an action input field to update the attendance. So let's add here. First of all, let's add a div for attendance message after the update or created function is executed, and then here add as a form method as post, then action will add let's give it as a base URL, and here it should be attendance and create attendance. Okay, so let's give ID of create attendance form. Let's close the form. Here let's give a table, class table, and table border. Okay, t-head. Let's close this one. Let's give us this width as 60%. Here's a name. Okay, let's copy. Let's give it this as a 40%, and this gives us an action. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, we have that. So okay, so there should be a T-body. Close this one, open the rest of it from here, and we'll check first of all if we have a student data, right? Student data. Okay, if we have student data, we'll display that student data, otherwise we'll display as tr 2 equals span 3. We'll output as a no data variable. So if we have student data, we'll do for loop, and then we'll student data here, and create a div tr, and then tag in tr. Okay, so first we'll display the student name, right? So it should be value first name, value last name. Did I miss something? Okay, oh, I missed here. Okay, we should have a student data here. We have an error. Unexpected on 153. 153. Oh. Okay, so we have all the student information. Okay, we'll now add a button here, right? So here it should be select name. Let's give it as attendance status. Oh, it should be I'll explain that later, not now. Attendance status platform control, select here. We'll have an option, 4 option, I guess. And empty. After that, I think 1 for present and 2 for absent and 3 for late. So let's check that. Okay, we have that, and after all this that are represented, we need, after we select this all, we need a save submit button. So we'll create right after the table center element, okay, button type submit class button primary button as save changes. Okay, it's beautiful. So I guess it's done, the layout is done. So in the next part I'll teach you how to submit this data into database, and as well as how to display the attendance report on each student. So next part we'll work with how to create the student attendance, and as well as display them on this section. It's a little bit complex, not that much, it's a little bit, but we'll work it out. Yeah, okay, thank you.